Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 to make the best game ever. Good. So, then let's see. This one we have just seen here. Yeah. Okay, so double scroll amount for RMB. Let's see. Okay. The scroll multiplier is used to rescale scroll settings so keyboard scrolling is faster and RB scrolling matches 30 FPS behavior. Default settings, the scroll factor is 15 in the option setting. This becomes loaded and used. The value of 2.0 was chosen as in retail. The keyboard scroll factor has no effect on RB scrolling. So multiplying the default scroll value by 0 makes... I'm still not happy with this description. There's a lot of there are duplicate information in these sentences, and I think it can be described better. If you want, I can try to write a description. I think we already have a comment. Hold on. How do you say to the duplicate in this sentence? I think it can be described better. I can try to write a description. There's duplicate information in these sentences. I think it can be described better. Okay. Scroll multiplier. Perhaps write this as this times this to match write this as this to match system buffer. I would say that it should use the default buffer size, as the initial file access will make multiple calls to read individual bytes of data instead of a whole block. Is that so? Let me see. This will be a performance degradation after the previous changes. Hold on. Is that true? Remove more unnecessary null checks. Zero only. Enable buffer IO2. Let me see. RAM file needs no file buffer because it is read in one go. File system, open file. Makes sense. Okay, so we just open the file. Hold on. The file system, open file. File system. There we go. Open file. So that opens file. Yeah, here. Okay, it just opens the file. And then we call open here, which does check the size, and then it reads it all in one go. I would say that it should use the default buffer size, as the initial file access will make multiple calls to read individual bytes of data. Where's that? Can you show where these reads are? Okay, where these reads are that you refer to? Yeah, I don't see them. I think it's one read of the whole file in one go. That's it. It just reads the whole file in one go. I don't know what he refers to. Maybe I'm missing something, or he refers to something that doesn't exist. One of these two. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like the idea of artificial weights. If that means a splash screen is barely visible, since so be it. I would be more grateful for the speed up and loading times. Then I would be worried about not seeing the splash screen long enough. Let's see. So this means observer muted players in deployment screens, but still saw messages. Interesting. Interesting. Hmm. 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 Am I observer or not from observer? Can see chat. Am I observer or not from observer? I wonder, I'm a bit confused about this condition. Shouldn't this be am I observer equals from observer? Am I observer or not from observer? Ah, no. You're also allowed to see chat messages. Right. So when you're observer, you're supposed to see chat messages from players and from observers. But you're not as a player, you're not supposed to see chat messages from observers. Yeah. And so in this condition, can see chats. I observer. Not from observer. Okay, and that's correct. Yeah. The condition makes sense. The condition takes a moment to understand. I would not mind adding a comment that this makes observers see all chat messages and non-observers see non-observers chat messages only. It's not the job of this change to add a comment. I would have added the comment here to clarify what this does, because it's not just looking at this, it's not awfully obvious, the behavior, but it's correct. Yeah. It takes a moment to understand. Okay, but this is correct. Yeah. Code looks correct. Then this is fix fix player, fix muting players. Fix broken player muting for observer. So this is actually a bug. Bug gen -0. Well, yeah, it's a bug. Yeah. I think we can make it GUI, right? GUI. Well, it's not in the GUI code, but I think it's fine. The scroll is multiplier is used to rescale scroll settings, so keyboard scrolling is faster and RB scrolling matches 30 FPS behavior. Okay, how about I have a go at this? Let me get the branch. Feature faster scroll AMT. Feature faster scroll AMT. Good. Doesn't find it. Look at XLATs. Look at XLATs. There we go. Okay. Rescale the scroll factor. Fix. Okay, how about we say rescales the scroll factor. looking at an outdated branch. Okay, how about we say info it introduces scroll multiplier, introduces a scroll multiplier for RMB scrolling, introduces the for all scrolling to one bring back, introduces a scroll speed multiplier for all scrolling to 1. To 1. To increase the upper scroll speed, increase upper scroll speed limit from the scroll factor, the upper speed limit from the scroll factor, the upper limit of the scroll factor, bring the RMB scroll speed back, scroll speeds back to the level, to the speed of back to the scroll speed at 30 FPS in the retail version. Bring scroll speed back to the scroll speed at 30 FPS in the retail version of this game, retail game version. The value 2 was chosen because originally the scroll keep scroll speeds for increase the default, increase the scroll speed for Edge. Keep scrolling. To better fit the high speeds of RMB scrolling. Originally, the scroll factor did not back to the scroll speed at 30 FPS and the retag. Bring the RMB scrolling back. Okay, that's a bit confusing the way this is written. Bring the RMB scroll speed back to how it was at 30 FPS in the retail game version. Bring the RMB scroll speed back to how it was at 30 FPS in the retail game version. After increase the upper limit of the scroll factor. When set from the options menu. Increase the scroll speed for Edge key scrolling to better fit the high speeds of RMB scrolling. Was naturally chosen because the value 20 was logically chosen because originally the scroll factor did practically not affect, was logically chosen because originally the scroll factor did practically not affect the RMB scroll speeds. And since the default, and because the default scroll factor is 0.5, it needs to be multiplied. It needs to be multiplied by 2 to get to a neutral 1x multiplier. Was Okay, so that would be my explanation of things. Let's read that through again. Introduces the scroll multiplier for all scrolling to 1. Maybe we add some indentation here. To 1, bring the RMB scroll speed back to how it was at 30 FPS in the retail game version. 2, increase the upper limit of the scroll factor when set from the options menu. You can say 0.1 1.45 0.2 2.90 instead of that. Okay, so the upper limit of the scroll factor when set from the options menu. Instead of increases the scroll speed for edge scrolling to better fit the high speeds of RMB scrolling. The value 2.0 was logically chosen because originally the scroll factor did practically not affect the RMB scroll speed, and because the default scroll factor was 0.5, it needs to be multiplied by 2 to get to a neutral 1x multiplier. Trying to make it look a bit nicer. Maybe like this. Yeah. Introduces a scroll multiplier for all scrolling. Introduces the scroll multiplier for all scrolling to bring the RMB scroll speed back to how it was at 30 FPS in the retail game version. Increase the upper limit of the scroll factor when set from the options menu. 0.2.290 instead of 0.1.145. That's the range. Maybe we should write it like so. No, that's even harder to read. Maybe say 2. Maybe add a 0 here as well. Increase the scroll speed for edge key scrolling to better fit the high speeds of RMB scrolling. The value 2.0 was logically chosen because originally the scroll factor did practically not affect the RMB scroll speed, and because the default scroll factor was 0.5, it needs to be multiplied by 2 to get to a neutral 1x multiplier. Otherwise, the scroll speed is... Yeah, I don't think we need to explain that. I think that's good enough. Okay, and then I wonder, do we still need this comment rescale? I think we can remove this comment here. This is more explanation than was before, but there's no duplication of information. And it explains it in whole detail, the way I understand this. Let me say the multiplier of 2 was logically chosen because originally the scroll factor did practically not affect the RMB scroll rate, and because the default scroll factor was 0.5, it needs to be doubled. So it needs to be doubled to get to a neutral 1x multiplier. Okay. Then we need to replicate that to generals. And then we also remove this here. Modify comments. I made a pass on comments. Check if it makes sense. Check if okay. Okay. I will be looking at the memory leak situation next. Yeah. Okay, so basically we have debug crashing, debug. Let's turn that on. RTS debug, okay, generates. Okay, so we go to main branch. And we compile. Just follow in the same function. When you first use open from the file system, you can either be given a RAM file or a local file, depending on if the file you want is from local storage or an archive. The file contents are then read and copied Wait a sec, it was some GitHub funniness. Now I think part of the open. I thought it was part of some can call. Okay, so good. So we had a memory leak situation when we load some levels, then it would start leaking things. Okay, let's first try to get a sense of the pattern we see. So we start now with quick start. Yeah, so it loads in the menu, and if we exit here, then we get 3 memory leaks. Okay, fair enough. Good. So then we launch again. And then, no, we don't change resolution. We load a skirmish map. Yeah, the down the road map. Okay. Just like this. And then we exit. And then we go to main menu and we exit game. And now it says 1364. Okay. Doesn't seem so many. Let's load 2 maps. So we first load down the road, then we exit, and now we load Dralim Desert. Okay, and then we exit that as well, and then we exit the game. Now we have 2000 memory leaks. Okay. Now let's see what happens if we load 3 levels. So we first load down the road. Then we load Dralim Deserts. And then we load Dry River. And then we exit the game. 2100. Not so much more. Yeah, maybe because there are assets shared across these maps. Yeah. Okay. So, and if we launch with shell map, apply, okay. So if we now load into down the road, exit game, Quit menu, exit game, 1400. Okay, then let me launch with AI. Hard army. Exit game. Also 1400. Why did I see? I remember there was like a really high number. Now it's not that much anymore. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, but we can maybe look into this anyway and see. But I remember last time I checked, there were like 10,000. Now it's not that much anymore. That's strange. Yeah. Okay, so what do we have? Tag string. What is a tag string? Tag string. Tag string. Game memory. Bad tag string. W3A. H-lot. W3T. What is this? Special prefixes. New array. Okay, so it's coming through this one in H-lot. H-lot. Okay, read the block of size. Okay, let's tackle these guys here. They look interesting. Okay. So there's some leak in H-lot CPP. It doesn't tell us where exactly, but it's an array. H-lot.cpp. H-lot. H-lot. There we go. Okay, and we look for a W3D new array. W3D. I don't know why we in it. I wanted to go to H-lot. Hello? H-lot CPP. There we go. Good. So we're looking for W3D new array. New array. There we go. Yeah. Okay, there are multiples. Yeah, several new arrays. Many arrays. Yeah. Let me make a search. Oof. Okay, there are lots, so that's not surprising then that something is leaking. There are two, maybe one or two. Okay. Okay, now the question is which one? Temp. Okay, let's try to eliminate the ones. So this guy is delete lot value cost temp lots. Okay, so this one is clear. Yeah. Okay, so here we have cleanups. Yeah. It says size. Does it say size 16? 16. Size 16. Size 16. Block size 16. Liegt der Block of size 16? It doesn't help much because we don't know if the 16 is really just the 16 bytes we have. We could just go through all of them and check. Yeah. Okay, so lot value cost. Lot value cost. Okay, so these are fine here. Okay. Okay, so what do we have here? Here we also have this temp lots and deletes. Yeah, okay, so this also looks fine. Then we have more here. Look at that. Aha. Ah, free. It calls free here. And free does do lots cost. Okay, so that does free here. What is this here? Dereferencing null point. That's fine. That's an assert here. Okay, so this seems fine. It does call free here before we assign new allocations. That's fine. Let's see, what do we have here? This is a constructor. The constructor, and there it just allocates. That's fine. Okay, what else? Here we have another copy constructor and that. No, it's just a constructor. Yeah, copy constructor, but that's fine. It doesn't need to free anything before that. Yeah, and here we have another one. And here we have load W3D. Model name. Okay, that's different. Model name bone index. Yeah. Okay, it's different from HLOT class. Okay, so HLOT class so far looks good. Let's see the destructor. If that calls free, if we can find it. There, it calls free. Yeah. Okay, so this one should clean up. Yeah. Yeah. This looks solid to me. What about this one here? The sub-object array class. That one has 2 arrays here. Model count. Yeah. Bone index. Okay. Okay, this one could be suspicious here. Yeah. What do we have here? Yeah. Lots. Initialize. Free. There's a free function here. HLOT dev class. Free. Free. What about the destructor? Free. Destructor calls free, and the free does delete lots. Delete lots. What about model name and bone index? It looks like there's something missing here. Yeah. Sub-object array class. Okay, that's part of that. Let's see. Oh boy. Resets, destructor calls reset and resets. Okay, that one deletes some model names. Model name, free, delete, free. Where's the initialize function? Objects, resets, So the only thing is maybe we need to call delete before these two, just in case. I don't know, delete model name, model index. Could do that. I don't know if that is really the issue. Probably not. So we have the reset function, which is called on a destructor, and that will delete model name and bone index. What is this here? Free model name? What is this? This looks fine. It's assigned down here. Yeah. So this initialize and the shutdown is lots, delete lots. Yeah. This seems all fine to me. I don't know where the leaking would be. Could be this one place here, but that would require that someone calls load W3D twice on the same sub-object. I don't know if that's a thing. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see if it still shows up in the log now. Still there. Still leaking. Well, it could be that maybe the HLOT object itself is leaked, right? So the HLOT class, wherever that is being created, that itself could also be leaked, right? So who is using it? What? Why is there no user of this? Ah, because we search and look documents. So need to find the places that use it. Here. This one. And this one. There are two places. New ref. Yeah. New places, two places. Now the question is, how do we know who is leaking it then? There could be so many places, right? Oh boy. Creates this lot prototype class. Oh, fuck. Oh. Name. This is like searching for a needle in the haystack here. Oh boy. Create render objects. Create render objects. Stop. Oh boy, there's so many places that create that. Ugh. Could be any of these. Oof. Okay, that's not a good way to to find this. Oh. 16. So 16. There's a lot of leaking in HLOT. Yeah. Mesh geometry, that's also leaking. Share buffer class. Ref count class. Share buffer class. Mesh geometry. Okay, so we know that it's a share buffer class that is leaking. number. Oof. 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 It's in mesh geometry CPP though, we know that. Okay, so it must be one of these guys. Mesh geometry. So we have poly. Set user text. If user text release ref. Release ref. User text is not. If there are more than one user text chunks in this mesh file. Okay, now that's fine. Are these all the objects in here? So we have this, we have the Kyle tree, we have 7 other things here. 7, yeah, and mesh name and user text. Or arrays. W3D new array. Temp name, delete temp name, set name. What is this? Set name, delete. The fuck is that? So copy. My gosh, this code is ancient. Okay, but this one, it indicates here with W3D that this is not an array allocation. It is a W3D new allocation in this file. So that could be new ref, right? Yeah, new ref. Okay, yeah, I see. So it must be one of these guys. New ref. This one is not found, so it is new ref. Okay, they're all new ref. So it could be this guy. It's not this guy. TMP. Yeah, this one looks okay. That looks fine as well. Next. This one is released. This one is released. 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 Mesh name. Release ref. That's also fine. That is fine. Maybe here. Maybe here we can do a release. Ref PTR release. Cultree. That's a different kind of thing that is being leaked here. It would be a AAB tree class. Yeah, it must be a share buffer class, right? Share buffer class. Yeah. I don't see the error here. No. I don't see it. There's so many of these. I wonder what's up with that. Mesh class. Mesh CPP, mesh class. Maybe there's some systemic leak. Something high up. Mesh CPP. Mesh class. Mesh. This is a new ref, maybe. New ref. Mesh class, there we go. Clone. It must be this here, the clone. Let's see where this is called. What is this there? Set rev owner. Set rev. Man, it can be anywhere. Shit. It's a lot of things that are leaking here. Oh. Block of size 740. Could be anywhere. This manual memory management is absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. The problem is we don't really know which object it is that actually leaks, but seeing that so many things are leaking here, like the mesh class and the mesh model class and material info class and H3 class, all this stuff is related to render objects, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's something very high up that is leaking. Right? Something that encapsulates all these different kind of classes that make up a render object, right? So it could be something higher up, but the question is what? We don't see it from here, what that is. Okay. I wonder if we enable AppVerif, application verifier. Application verifier, and we add an application, we add general zh.exe, and we enable leaks. Maybe this will help us find things. Okay, let's enable the null memory. Game memory, we disable that, generates. Let's see. Save this. So. Okay. Let's load a map. Okay. We exit. Yeah. Okay. Exit. Huh. Don't get any reports? I thought we would get a... application verifier leak. And DLLs, what? Checks out. DLL is unloaded. There are no outstanding resources allocated by it. Visual leak detector. Site can't be reached. Great. Visual leak detector. I think I used that in the past. Visual leak detector for C++. So you just need to tell Visual C++ where to find the included header and library file. Include VLD. Okay, then let's remove the leaks here and save. Then let's click on Get Started. Will this work with Visual Studio 2022 though? What the hell is that? Why does it look so weird? What is this here? That looks weird. What the hell? Oh boy. Not very trustworthy. Kind Dragon VLD. Inactive. Visual Studio memory leak detection. Memory usage tool. Usage tool. Identify memory leaks. Memory usage tool. Okay, but that doesn't help me with leaks here. Let me ask ChatGPT if you can pinpoint. Is there a way to detect memory leaks within Visual Studio 2022? C++ memory leaks. Yes. Nope. Diagnostic tools. Show diagnostics. Switch to memory usage. Take a snapshot before and after suspected leaks. Compare snapshots to identified memory growth. Works best with managed code. Or native code compiled with debug commands. Error sanitizer. Huh? Memory usage. Take a snapshot before and after suspected leaks. How? Enable snapshots. Okay. Take a snapshot. Okay. Now what? Take snapshot. Okay, and then maybe what we can do is we yeah, that doesn't help because that ends the entire session. What we can do maybe is, I don't know if it will be helpful though. Debugging. How about we go to game main and we put a breakpoint here and here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then here we take a snapshot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then we load into shell map. Then we load a level. Yeah. Then we exit. And then we exit game. And then we take another snapshot. Here. Hello? Why can I not take a snapshot? Hello? Where's this? Ah, here, take snapshot. There we go. Okay, so. Okay, so we have leaked 53 megabytes, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, can we see what it is? Ah, there we go. There's a mesh class. Aha. That somewhat matches our observation. That's cool. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so here we see also the share buffer class, a material info class, hlot class, what we have seen in our log as well. Okay, can we dig into why it was leaking? Can we see that? I don't know. String class, uninitialized grow. Initialize grow. Dynamic initialize. Okay, it looks like it will give us some clues. Let's look at the meshes class first, yeah. Aha. Okay, that is helpful. That is helpful. We see an allocation call stack. That is fantastic. That is very, very fantastic. Much appreciated. Okay, so start new game, add prop, clone. That's what we already looked at, yeah. Clone, so it's a prop buffer. Okay, that's cool. Okay, now so the question is, at which point does it leak? So there's an add prop. What is this? Prop. Okay, now the question is, on which way does it leak? I'm not seeing that yet. Add prop, add prop. Go to source code. Is it this one here that is leaking? Prop buffer. Prop buffer. Yeah. Props. Props. Num props. M num props. What is this? Max props. The prop buffer. All props are stored here. Max props is 4,000. Num props. Okay, and how is this cleaned up? Clear all props. Our object, yeah. So it is cleared here. Hold on, this is prop types. What about M props? Max types. Where's the destructor? Okay, it looks like it's not actually cleaning up the props. It's just cleaning up the prop types. Props. Clear all props. Clear all props. Remove all props. way, can we see how much this leaks? It leaks 139 kilobytes. That's not much. 39 kilobytes. It's the biggest offender though. It's not much. 139 bytes, kilobytes. But we should fix it. Yeah, okay, so to me it looks like the problem is it's not cleaning up the prop and the prop buffer. So it cleans up the prop types. And this guy, it stores tprop, which has also a render object. Add prop type, and here is add prop, and add prop. It clones the object from the type. It clones it. Aha. It has its own. It has its own. It has its own copy. Is that always the case? Does this always have a copy of that? Let me see. It always has a copy. Okay, then the fix here maybe is simply to, what's this? Remove a prop ID. Props. Props. Remove prop. Wow, that's expensive. It has to search through all the props to find it. Oh, really? Why is it so bad? What the fuck is this? What the hell is this? What is this ID then? Oh, hell no. That looks really, really expensive. Holy shit. Oh, hell no. Okay, so there seems to be also a performance issue here because this is outrageous. This is outrageous here. Jesus Christ. This doesn't scale. Oh my gosh. Why does this ID not an index then? Why does it have to search like this? Just make a prop. The ID is the index. Done. Or not. Let me see. What is this ID? Let's search for .id in here. .id. Props. ID. ID. Add prop. ID. Okay, who's calling add prop? What is this ID? Ah, it's a drawable ID. Okay, so what we can do is the first optimization we can do is we can just return here. That already halves the cost of this function on average. Maybe we should add it to do. The super hackers add to do make ID look up faster. Same here. ID. Yeah, it's just these two places. Update prop position and remove prop. They are very inefficient. This is a performance concern, yeah. Okay, but let's get back to the memory problem. So clear all props. Clearly that doesn't clear all the props. I also find it weird that here it does this. That makes no sense on constructor. I think what we should do is clear all props. It should just set these guys to 0. Yeah. Done. Okay, and then here max type. Prop types. Shouldn't this just do clear? Let's go to the function that clears. Clear all props. That's interesting. It just sets this to 0. Okay, what we do here is we take this guy, we put it to the end, and we put it here, and then we do num props. Then here props. And then is there anything else we should clear in the props? There's this here. There's another pointer. Oh no, that's another. That's not in there. What is there? We have it's we have bool, status, int, chord. No, the rest are just primitive types. Yeah. Okay, so we really only need to do that. That's it. Yeah, I think that's all we need to do, and then we should call this in the destructor. There we go. There we go. That's the way. And here we do this and that. Okay, and that should solve the leaking, I would say. Yeah? Yeah? Good. I think I will take a break here, and then next session we pick up with this and look into more leaks. So this one has saved us. Let's rank them by bytes. Yeah. It's not so many leaks here. That's cool. Okay, let's take a screenshot of this. Yeah. Okay, so this one fixes these leaks, supposedly. Yeah, okay, cool. So 140 kilobytes and 189 leaks. Okay, cool. Good, then next session we continue with this and fix more of these guys here, starting from the top. I'm surprised that it's actually not so big thing. So like it's not a big runtime concern, and it's a minor memory leak. Yeah, minor memory leaks. Not so concerning, but obviously we want to eliminate all memory leaks to have like really clear view on leaks. It's always bad to have so many, even though it's not so many really. It's manageable. I think we can go through these and fix them all. Good. Then yeah, I will take a break here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.